Hey all, I hope you're having a good day. I miss you. Today we are continuing with that Martin Luther King Jr. article that we started yesterday. So if you do not remember what I'm talking about, what I need you guys to do is go into your Google Drive. Here's my Google Drive. What you're gonna do if you have not already found this article is you're gonna just search MLK and it should come up MLK article. Click on that for me and your copy should come up because we're going to be working on this again. Once you're there, you can pause the video if you need to find it. But once we're there, we are talking about something that we call central idea. Okay, so in all informational articles, they have something that are called a central idea, which is the main point that the author is making in a section of a text. Notice, I say a section of a text. When we look at the article that we read yesterday, it has multiple sections. So as we get older, our informational articles are going to have multiple central ideas. Sorry, you guys, gotta plug my computer in. So our job as readers is to be able to read a section and determine what the central idea of that section is. So asking ourselves, based off of the details that we read, what is the main point of this? If I had to give a one sentence summary, what would it be? So what we're going to do is we're going to read section 1 together of the article. And we're going to decide what the central idea is going to be. And while we're reading, the questions we're going to ask ourselves are, what annotations, so those things that we highlighted yesterday, which of those jump out at you? And then after you finish reading that one section, you ask, what is this section mostly about? Okay, so let's go and let's read, and then we will determine from there. So the way that I figure a section out is I look at this subheading, okay? So this subheading isn't as big as the regular heading, but it's still bolded. So that tells me that this is the start of a section. So this section is titled Early Years in Spiritual Growth, and I'm going to read it. Early Years in Spiritual Growth. Originally named Michael King Jr., Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929. He was the middle child of Michael King Sr. and Alberta Williams King. The King children grew up in a secure and loving environment. Martin Luther King Jr. entered school at age 5, skipped 2 grades in high school, and entered Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, at age 15 in 1944. He was a popular student, but he was unmotivated and floated through his first 2 years. In 1948, King attended the Crozer Theological Seminary in Chester, Pennsylvania. He graduated first in his class in 1951 after having been elected student body president. While working on his doctorate at Boston University, King met Coretta Scott, a singer and musician. They were married in June 1953 and had 4 children: Yolanda, Martin Luther King III, Dexter Scott, and Bernice. In 1954, King became pastor of the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church of Montgomery, Alabama. So that's the section, because notice it starts a new subheading down below. So I'm done with this section. My job now is going to be to figure out what the central idea is. So I need the main point of this one section, okay? And my job is to fill in the sentence stem, which is the main idea of this section is. So I'm looking to fill in the rest of this. Okay, now notice back on my slides, it tells me to think about what annotations, and since I didn't finish mine with you guys yesterday, I'm gonna ask myself what details really jump out at me, okay? Well, I'm seeing a lot of dates and a lot of ages, and that makes me think that this is really walking through him growing up, okay? So we go from him being born in 1929 to age 5 to age 15 to college in 1951 to marriage in 53 and children and then his job. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of those dates and I'm moving through time really fast. So that's what jumps out at me. That makes me think that the main idea of this section is giving background on his life up until where he became really famous for his activism. Okay, so I'm going to put that in a sentence the best that I can. Okay, the main idea of this section is Martin Luther King Jr.'s background and childhood leading up to his adult life. So notice, I just grabbed every single detail that was in these 4 paragraphs and I put it in a sentence, okay? So when my reader is reading this central idea sentence, then they can understand that this is the main point of it. So it's a way of summarizing so your reader isn't bogged down in all of those details. Now, what you guys are going to do next is you're going to practice this on your own, okay? So you're going to read Bus Boycott and Southern Christian Leadership Conference all on your own. So it's not that long. It's only 4 paragraphs again. Then I want you to pay attention to what was highlighted, what details jumped out at you, and then do the same thing that I just did in that comment. Okay, so you're going to go onto your Google form. Sorry, you guys.
Teachers, can I have your attention? If by any chance you happen to have any extra first aid packets, drawstring bags, or agendas in your room, will you please send us to the front office so we can get packets ready for our students coming back face to face? Thank you.
All right, sorry, you guys. You are going onto this Google form under this video, and you are filling in this first question. So what is the central idea of the section titled Bus Boycott and Southern Christian Leadership Conference? Fill in this sentence. So you're writing right here in the blank, the main idea of this section is, and then your answer, okay? Now, once you do that, notice you got 2 more questions because when you go back to this article, there are 2 more sections. So repeat this process, you guys. You are responsible for reading the section, noticing what you've highlighted, thinking about the details that jump out at you, and then writing that 1-sentence summary that summarizes what the section is mainly about. Do that for all 3 of the remaining sections, and then you may move on.